Hey everyone, Aidan here. Got Sean here with me as well. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Can't believe we are at module 6. The weeks are flying by, and we've still got a lot more ground to cover here. So this week though, there's a few things I want to cover with housekeeping, and then Sean is going to take over and dive into some of the hot seats, which I think are going to be particularly interesting. So stick around and watch how Sean goes about dissecting someone else's progress and gives tips that I'm sure many of you will be able to use as well. Before that, though, let's race through the housekeeping bits and pieces. And I will try to go through these as quickly as we can today, just to allow us to have more time with the hot seats. Okay, so all right, let's dive in. So we'll cover some housekeeping as always. There's a lot of new content for you guys that we've been sharing, and a lot of it's been published in the members area already. We'll go over what this week's training is all about, mindset minute, action items, and then get into these hot seats. So the success stories keep coming in, and what I really want to urge you guys to do is when you're seeing success, don't just send us an email, also publish it in the community so everyone else can see it as well and get inspired and motivated by your success story, whatever that may be. But like I say, we have had quite a few come in, especially in the past week. It seems like a lot of people are starting to find some momentum now. If you're starting to find some momentum, just let me know with me in the Q&A box, because there does seem to be a bit of an uptick in the action that we're seeing, not just in the not just from what we can see from the success stories, but from some of the stats that we can see behind the scenes, like the traffic that's coming into your pages, the email subscribers that you're getting. So Jen says, slowly getting there. She is. James is getting some. Jacqueline got a $100 commission today. That's awesome, Jacqueline. Fantastic. Matthew said he's on the screenshot there, so that's awesome, Matthew. And how do you get into the community? There's a link in the members area as well. And Sean, I saw your video came back on. If you ever want to jump in, just go for it. But I'm really excited personally to see so many more of these come in. But again, just to reiterate, share it with the community here. I know that people love reading about the successes that come in there. And obviously, if you don't feel like doing that, it's just fine to send it into us. At least we definitely want to know about what you're getting up to. So really exciting and positive signs there for lots and lots of people who, and especially for the folks that maybe haven't had the magic happen yet, but are starting to see things line up, are starting to see the traffic coming in, are starting to get a grip on how this works, how the conversions work, and understand that it's a numbers game, and you just have to keep, getting traffic, the right kind of traffic into the top of the funnel. So congratulations to people who've been starting to get runs on the board there. Some housekeeping. You can now save text in the float funnel scripts area without needing to add a character and then delete it. So that was a little bug that we squished, and that should be good to go there. You can change a page URL in float funnels by going to scripts, into the SEO settings, and then into the page slug as well. And what I've always found with these types of tools is the best way to master it is just to play around with it and press lots of buttons and do lots of different things and figure things out because inevitably there are going to be more little nuances and bits and pieces that you can do to make it work the way that you want to work. But some of it may be what's the word for it? I've lost my word. I've lost my vocabulary there. Now, some of it may still not be as streamlined or as obvious as might seem, but every week it's getting more and more intuitive was the word that I was looking for, more and more intuitive. So play around with it, dive into it, create lots of pages, hook up different things, do different things, and you'll become a master of how to use that. Now, one of the things that we promised a few weeks ago now, must have been around about module 3, was a whole set of different bonuses that you guys are going to get access to. And these have been published now. So there's Outsource Mastery. This is a series of, I think it's like 30 odd videos. And that's an entire start to finish course that we've released. It's actually had we've had about 55,000 people come through that course, believe it or not, through the different sales channels that we've got online. And it's a start to finish course about outsourcing, about building a team. And it's not something that you need to have a lot of money to be able to do either. You can get started on a shoestring budget and get some really good results coming in with Outsource Mastery. So check that program out whenever you're ready. I'll share exactly where it is in a moment. $100 million email funnels. You know, a lot of what you're doing and what we've been teaching you talks about leveraging the back end and talks about leveraging email specifically. And we spoke a lot last week about how, you know, email is the most profitable part of our businesses. And it doesn't matter what business it is. I mean, email is the most profitable part of our e-commerce businesses. It's the most profitable part of our info product businesses, or our affiliate marketing businesses, just because of the fact that we don't have to pay for traffic. People who have already opted in, and we can send out and make a lot of money. And you're going to be able to do this as well. In fact, I was looking at some of the numbers today, and I can see that a lot of you are now starting to accumulate subscribers on your email lists that you've set up with SendPad. And that's brilliant, because that's kind of like money in the bank right there when you start sending emails out and monetizing them. So you've got that $1 million email funnels bonus, access to that now as well. You've got the amplification blueprint. The Millionaire Mindset Workshop is one that I'm particularly passionate about. And this is something that, you know, and I speak a lot with Sean about as well, but, you know, sometimes you'll see two people with the exact same recipe, and some people will follow that recipe and make something amazing from it. And other people, for whatever reason, will follow the same recipe and won't make something amazing. And the two people will probably both face adversity. They'll both face some challenges, but one of them, for one reason or another, ends up seeing all the success. And the only difference, if you've got the same tools, if you've got the same recipe, if you've got the same ingredients, is your mind. It's the mindset. And adopting this millionaire mindset is something that has been probably the single biggest, you know, sort of personal development advancement that I've ever experienced in my life. And the Millionaire Mindset Workshop is really a high-level summary of the types of things that we think about when we're thinking about the millionaire mindset, and hopefully we'll start guiding you down that path. And the performance plan will build on that. Actually, there's another complete start to finish course that you'll get access to there about how to build a structure, a routine of high performance and just of getting stuff done into your day. So don't be overwhelmed by these. You can go through them at your own pace there. Something like the Millionaire Mindset is something that's going to be easy to consume. When you feel like consuming something different, go and check that out. If you feel like you need to hire someone to alleviate some of the load that you may be facing, then Outsource Mastery is a good one. If you want to build more structure and routine around your day, then check out the performance plan. But these are at your disposal. Outsource Mastery and the performance plan have been added as separate courses that you're now going to find inside your 123 Profit library. So when you log in at 123profitmembers.com, you'll see multiple different products there, Outsource Mastery and the performance plan. And you can just go into them. And as you'll see, it's a whole members area that you're going to get access to. So hopefully you're excited about that. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of those programs. And then the other ones that I mentioned, the Amplification Blueprint, the Millionaire Mindset Workshop, and the $1 million email funnels are under the bonuses section in your members area. Okay, so that's where you can find those. Now, update on the contests. We are adding information about the winners to the members area. And there's still plenty of opportunities to win. Now, two of the contests that I really want to highlight here today are this one here, contest number 4, most website visitors in 30 days. Now, I know that some of you are just getting to the point where you're really turning traffic on and able to start, ramping that up a little bit. But that's fine. You can still submit into this. In fact, I would suggest that you do that, because we might have a surprise winner just for someone who submits there. So submit your information, a screenshot showing your proof of your traffic in your first 30 days. This one here needs to be sent in by the 27th of February, so not not that long to go. And like I say, I think we will add to this and select someone just as like a random winner that's got nothing to do with how much traffic you've actually got as well. If you feel like you haven't had that much traffic, still submit an entry because you might win. You can email support with that. The subject should be contest for, just nothing else, just contest for. And what that allows us to do is our filters and our support desk will pick that up, put it in the right place, and you won't actually get a reply to that entry, but we will get your entry. So that's contest number 4. Contest number 5, similar thing, most conversions in 30 days. We're looking at conversion count here, not revenue. So send in your proof and get it in, get the proof from your affiliate network, send it in to us by February the 27th. Again, same deal, just use contest 5 as the subject line for the support ticket. And you won't get a reply, so don't put any questions or anything like that. It's just submitting it in there, and then we can, filter through them and look at them and announce the winners. And the winners here will also be announced in the members area, along with an extra bonus winner just for someone. So the 2 bonus winners will be another $100 for this one and another $100 for this one, just for people who might not think they're going to necessarily win, but they are submitting an entry nonetheless. Okay. So training videos this week. Sean, do you want to guide people through here a little bit about the different bits and pieces you've put together for Module 6?
Yeah, sure. One thing you talked about earlier on changing your page name and URL and things like that, just a quick reminder, if you're going to change your URL, make sure you're updating your ads and things like that. All of a sudden you have your ad going to page 1 and you change the name to page 5. Well, now when your ad is going to page 1 and page 1 doesn't exist anymore, you're sending your ad into nothing, right? So, just want to make sure that you guys are doing that, because we did have a couple people writing in on that. So anyways, this week's all about email marketing, okay? And we have some videos on copywriting. We give you some templates. Writing a good email when it comes to CPA marketing is actually quite easy. Email marketing really is a lot about persuasion, getting people to open your email with like a catchy subject line and then persuading them to click through to your offer and so on. But you've already done that legwork, right? Let's say you're in the auto insurance niche. You're targeting keywords related to auto insurance. People are looking for auto insurance. They click on your ad, they go through your form, etc. So emailing them is really, really simple. Simple subject line, 2 or 3 sentences, offer, the end. And you guys will see how that works. It's really, really easy to do. So we give you some templates there, walking you through some deliverability practices and words not to use in your email. The name of the game is staying out of the spam folder. If your emails are hitting spam, nobody's ever going to open them. Okay, so take a look at that. How to send out broadcasts, testing broadcasts by sending emails to yourself and what I call a seed list, right? Going out there and creating 3 to 5 Gmail addresses that you own so you can test sending it to yourself. If you inbox an email to yourself, it stands to reason you're going to inbox to the rest of your list, okay? Giving you some ideas on how often you should send emails out, what times of day are the best, how to find offers to send. Hint, hint, if you're in the auto insurance niche, you should probably send auto insurance offers. It's really not harder than that. How to keep your list clean, removing and suppressing contacts, that don't want to be on your list. And then we had a major release Monday, actually, on mobile responsiveness. Remember, a couple weeks ago, pages were looking better on mobile, but they were more like a desktop view, just a little shrunk down. Pages now look really, really good. Just a couple things you got to do. Watch that video number 11, because you might have to make a couple updates to your old pages. Okay, so that's it for this week.
Awesome, good stuff. So lots to go through there. I was just looking at a few of the questions and comments that came in. So when we're talking about most conversions and most website visitors, we're really talking about website visitors across the whole website. So if you've got multiple different offer pages that you're sending into, then you could combine those and you could send us a screenshot of both. It's not like how many visitors to the homepage, it's how many visitors have you got across your website or websites if you've got multiple. So just wanted to clarify on that. So Mindset Minute for this week. This is something that I've seen come up over and over again. I've spoken about this one quite a few times as well, and it's the dip. And it's something that I first learned about from Seth Godin in his book with the same title, The Dip. And it's a phenomenon that appears in many, I would say maybe even most projects, where you put in all this effort up front and you start to see some results of some kind, but then you get into a patch which might be a bit dry, a patch that you're not really feeling the motivation, or maybe you're not getting the results, and that is the dip, and that's completely normal. And the people that push on through that dip are going to be the people that end up crushing it, because once you get through that dip, once you get through that tough grind period, that's when things are going to shoot up. So let that be a little bit of motivation for you, because this is something that pans out over and over again. And I've seen it in pretty much every and any project that I've ever sort of embarked on. So that's really something just to be aware of. You will have to grind away at some stage. Sometimes the motivation will fall off, and you'll have some adversity, but keep on going so that the magic can happen. And if you want to learn more about that, then check out Seth Godin's book. But in a nutshell, what I've told you in the last 60 seconds or so is really what it's all about. Motivation is garbage. This is an interesting one. So a quote from Mel Robbins: "We bought into this lie that you got to feel ready in order to change. People think they are missing motivation when in reality, human beings are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary. In fact, we're kind of biologically programmed to do things that are well within our comfort zone." And so Mel Robbins says motivation is garbage. You're never going to feel like doing what you have to do. Or if you do, it's fleeting. So stop waiting for that feeling of motivation, and let your long-term dreams and goals be the things that inspire you, but don't wait for motivation to come along. Just take action anyway. I mean, you don't have to be motivated. I find that I get more motivated when I actually start doing something. Like this morning, I went for a swim, and to be honest, I wasn't really feeling like it. But once I got my shoes on, and once I started heading to the pool, then I started getting motivated. So, and it's the same with business. The other day I was tackling a bit of a planning conundrum, and I'd been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. But once I actually sat down to do it, I got all the motivation that I needed. And, I think sometimes there's a bit of a psychological trap, because you build up things to be so much bigger in your mind than what they actually are when you just get down to business and get something done. So a little bit of a few thoughts there for you in this week's Mindset Minute. Sean, maybe you want to actually take the slides now as we go through the action items, and then you can sort of transition into the hot seat. And guys, I'm actually flying to Las Vegas in a couple of hours' time. So at this point in the presentation, once Sean has got his screen up and everything that's looking good, I'm actually going to say goodbye to you all because I've got a plane to catch, literally, and I have to get out to the airport and all that stuff. But one thing I did want to say about Las Vegas is I am meeting there with Sean to talk about a whole bunch of different things that we've got in the pipeline for 123 Profit members. And I'm also we are also meeting with Steve Clayton there, who we spoke a little bit about last week. And we spoke about how you're going to get access to Lifestyle Masterclass. Now, I know that we haven't given you any more information around Lifestyle Masterclass yet, but you are going to be getting information around that. If you missed what that was all about, you can watch the workshop from last week to get information around that. But we're going to be fleshing out exactly when that's going to be kicking off. I think it's in like the next 10 days or something, but I need to confirm dates with and times with Steve Clayton for that. And then we'll send you all out an email and share, when that's going to kick off. And we'll make sure that the trainings, which are going to be live, I believe, will not be overlapping with 123 Profit or anything like that. So with that said, I'll leave it over to you there, Sean, and catch you in about 24 hours time in Las Vegas.
Hey, how long of a trip is that for you, by the way, before you
go?
So
I've got, so I fly from Buenos Aires to Houston, and I think that's it's actually not too bad. It's about 10 hours. And then I've got a couple more hours. So it's really not that long, but by the time it takes me like an hour to get to the airport in Buenos Aires, and then,
Yeah.
one flight to another flight, a few hours lost there. But anyway, I'm traveling without kids, so it's going to be like a vacation for me.
Sounds
guys,
good, man.
yeah, I'll see you all on the next workshop next week. Cheers,
Awesome.
guys.
See you tomorrow.
Cheers.
All right. So action items for this week, or just actually even covering some of this motivation is garbage scenario. By the way, Mel Robbins is awesome. If you haven't seen any of her stuff, I really like people, because I think it just jives with me. I'm not like you got to believe and like huggy dug. I don't think that that's going to help me get across the finish line. I want somebody to kick my ass and yell at me and tell me, get off your ass. Like David Goggins is one that I like a lot. There was one on my Instagram yesterday, and he's sitting there and he's doing these Arnold presses, right? Where he comes down like this and he goes up or whatever. I think those are Arnold presses anyways. And, he's talking about how, we keep pushing things out. It's New Year's, I'll get to it tomorrow. It's my birthday, I don't want to do it. It's Christmas, whatever, right? And he's doing that, saying that type of stuff every rep that he's doing. And the point he makes at the end is time doesn't give I swear too much on webinars, but you know what word I want to say. The time doesn't care about Christmas or New Year's, or why you keep pushing things out, because you sleep a third of your life and there's only so much time left, right? So you don't need to have motivation for that. Your motivation should be where you want to be at the end of the day. Where are you going, right? So anytime you're stuck on flow funnels, or, Aiden was talking about a planning exercise, trust me, filming these videos for you guys, I love teaching, right? But sometimes it's like, I got to do like 5 hours of video filming, and, but then you get into it and you're like, oh, okay, I'm motivated. This is a really good video. It's going to help people. And you just do it, and the end goal is helping you guys, getting sales for this course. So the package altogether works out, right? So, having those long-term goals and understanding what your dreams are in the long run helps you get past some of the tasks you maybe don't want to do. It's same with like weight loss, for example, right? It's like, I took off a bunch of weight recently. I'm in really good shape now. I don't have a six pack or anything, but for like a 38-year-old guy, I think I'm, pretty good. But it's like, if I want to get to that six pack level, which is what I want to do, then, I gotta work for it. It's snowing today. It was cold. I got up at 6 a.m. I didn't want to get up at 6 a.m. because I was up late last night filming videos for you guys, but I got up anyways. I went for my 45-minute run, and that's that. Why? Because I know what my long-term goal is, and I didn't care. It's cold. It's freezing, whatever. But you know what? I got a roof over my head. I have money in the bank that, helps me pay with my kids and things like that. And I have nothing to complain about. A little bit of cold, a little bit of being tired ain't going to stop me. All right. So just wanted to toss that one in there, my thoughts on that one. But anyways, action items for this week. Sorry, Mark says, thanks for watching your language. The kids come in. I'm sorry, man. It's I'm bad around my kids. I got to get so much better because they're getting older. And my daughter the other day was just like, Dad, you said F, and she actually swore, right? And I was like, okay, back in the day, my parents literally would wash my mouth out of soap for doing that. And I'm like, well, I was 8. I didn't know what I was even talking about. And you said it. What are you doing to me? But I just laughed. And I was like, okay, you're right. I shouldn't say that, but you shouldn't say it back. You could just say the F word. You don't have to swear back at me. So anyways, it's my own fault. So anyways, action items. Reviewing copywriting techniques. I don't want to scare you. We don't have to learn how to be like the world's greatest copywriter writing novels. Literally, you guys are going to see just how easy it is to write emails. We give you templates, leverage those templates. An email is literally just going to be catchy subject and like 70 words, not even, okay? It'll be like, hello, a question, a sentence or two, a call to action, and a signature. That's it. Hey, Sean, you still looking for auto insurance? Congratulations, you've been approved for our newest program, starting from $49 a month. Click here to get access. Thanks. Talk soon, Sean. That literally, I just made that up, but literally you're going to be writing emails very similar. Don't overthink it. You don't have to be super duper special. That's how I send emails every single day. All right. And Matthew says, whenever I start thinking I don't want to do something, I hear David Goggins yelling, but you got poopy pants now. I know, that's funny. This guy needed, sorry, we'll get back to the action items, but David Goggins, I really love him. And some of you might not like him because I know some people don't. resonate with that tough love mentality. But he was a former Navy SEAL. I think he was actually the first ever Black Navy SEAL, if I'm not mistaken. So really cool dude. But sorry, just reading that. Oh, okay, cool. You know, he wanted to qualify from this like ultra marathon or something, which is like 150 miles, and he hadn't run in like 8 months. And apparently you had to like, you know, complete, I don't know, I'm making a little bit of this up, like 400 laps around a track or something in order to enter this contest. And like, guy was like, you know, peeing blood down his leg halfway through, like ready to collapse. And he just kept pushing through. And then like 2 days later ran this ultra. The guy's just insane. And it's just like, you listen to his story, and any problems you think, yeah, Can't Hurt Me is his book. It's a great book. If you think you have any problems in life, just like go watch him for a minute, and like you have no problems, trust me. So anyways, back to the action items. No more side tracking here. We'll get into the hot seats in a second. So copywriting techniques, thoroughly review deliverability practices. I know it's a little boring, guys. I hate Paul. I hate making the videos for you. I can imagine they're so dry, and you know, it sucks to have to understand this stuff. But really, you know, deliverability really boils down to just making sure you're not sending out spammy content, right? And you're not over mailing. You know, you have your technical stuff set up, which you should, right? I don't even think you can send mail on SendPad without a proper SPF and DKIM and stuff like that. So I think we take care of that, but just follow that. And I go through it all, but then I simplify it at the end, okay? Setting up a seed list. You always want to test sending emails to yourself before you like mail out to thousands of people. If you're just like, you'll create an email and you mail it to 50,000 people and hits the spam folder, you're not going to make any money, and that hurts your deliverability. So instead, why not write an email out, send it out to a list of emails you own, okay? Go see, did I make the inbox or did I go to spam? If you went to spam, go back and keep testing different variations of that email till you do get to the inbox. Now you can send out to your list of 50,000 contacts, okay? That's how I do things. Test broadcast into your seed list, as I just said. Send a broadcast out to your list now. Make some money. That's the whole key here. And then I show you how to create segments for your list. More so, actually, not segments, how to clean your list by getting rid of contacts that don't want to be on it and suppress it. Segmentations for another week. I just forgot to update that sentence on the slide. And then making your float funnels page mobile responsive. Making float funnels mobile responsive is actually really easy. Go watch the video. But it really involves just dragging in a column for each element, okay? So it's like column, drag the headline, drag another column, drag the image, drag another column, drag the button. So instead of just like dragging headline, image, button, you have to drag the column first. And when you do that, it looks beautiful, okay? So anything, it will be fixed, all right? Janet, sorry, before I get into things, I don't know why I was looking at the questions. I probably shouldn't, but the seed list is why we need the suppression to be cleared in SendPad. I already have too many Gmails from testing. Can suppression list be made to clear? I would write into support and ask if they can remove some of your Gmails off the suppression list. Otherwise, I know you say you already have too many Gmails, but if you just want to set up 3 more for yourself, that would work as well, okay? Anything else? Questions? What's the criteria for getting an inbox for spam? Watch the videos this week. Trust me on that. I don't want to avoid it, but the videos will go like thoroughly into how to do that. Okay. So with that being said, hot seat time. All right. And if we have a couple minutes at the end, we'll get into some Q&A. So we have already selected 2 at random for this week, and I already have 2 at random for next week. So please don't write into support anymore. So we're ready to go for the next 2 weeks. If you guys are getting lots of value and seeing, potential with this, perhaps we can continue it even further. But let's just get right into it. So I actually meant to go left to right here and start with the other individual, but since I have Nikki open and Nikki was on the webinar, I don't know if I forget who this is. Anyways, but this other individual who's on here, Martin. There we go. Look at that. So we'll get to Martin second, and hopefully Martin, let me just see if he's on this webinar here. Is it enough? But I can actually search here. Martin is on the webinar. There you go. So Martin and Nikki, congratulations. You are the lucky winners of my review. So Nikki sent in her results here. She has this nice looking work from homepage, which I have a couple thoughts on. I'm just going to walk people through her funnel first, and then we'll dissect this thing live. So very simple, calling all moms, Great headline. Okay, are you looking for a side hustle to supplement your income? Perfect. Want to find out more? Probably not necessary, but I'm not going to kill you on it. Just this top part is fine. I would test with and without this over time to see which one does better. One critique here, as well, actually, I'll save the critique. But anyways, nice call to action. Nice headline, nice subheadline. Questions are fine. Below the whole fold content, we got our copyright, our legal pages, everything is good to go. Click on the questions, go to the next page. Could use extra income, perfect. And then we got the name and email here, which I'll put in some BS information, press enter. The processing page works, and off we go to a offer. So great, the flow works perfectly fine. Nothing else to talk about from that perspective. Okay, from there, she's going to that, she started off with this work at home moms opportunity, which you got 1 conversion out of 11 clicks. I would sit there and say you probably could have tested a little longer. 11 clicks is a little bit too short to make a decision. Nonetheless, you had another one here with about 30 clicks or so, had 4 conversions. The EPC is definitely a little lower, but I'm going to walk you through why that's not necessarily a bad thing in the beginning. So we have about $7.50, I believe, or we got here $6. To $7 and about $8 on 120 ad spend, something along those lines. $88 in ad spend. Okay, so we're down. 88 to make 8. On the surface that might sound very discouraging. Okay, but let's go through and see if my eyes can help you through this. All right. First things first, I would sit there and say, having the image here, right? It looks pretty. I like the image of the mom with the computer and the baby, but your question now is below the fold, right? So people have to scroll down to find the question. Doesn't sound like that's going to be a major problem, but trust me, it's going to kill your conversions. So immediately what I would do is I would push this image below the buttons, okay? Below the buttons on page 1, below the buttons on page 2, and definitely below the opt-in form. People don't even see the opt-in form right now. People might come here and be like, I don't know what's happening, and they close. Okay, that's going to kill your conversion rate. All right. So that's number 1. All right. That's the first thing I would do. The second thing is your offer EPCs are low for sure. So I would definitely go out to Max Bounty. Okay. I would search for, let's go in here and go to categories, BizOp, apply the search options. And I know you have a mom opportunity here. But, we could sort by EPC and we could see what else is going on here. All right. The cute kid, I know it's a cost per sale, but it's got 57-cent EPC, might be worth testing. Why is it says 43 BizOps, but it's only, it's because I'm in, let me just clear. I had Great Britain on. That was because I was looking at Martin's stuff first. Okay. Search and let's go to BizOp again. And sort by EPC. And let's scroll down. And here we go. Product review jobs, 225, 46 cents. So maybe test that offer. I know it's not a single mom. It's not showing a picture of a mom. I know you got to request approval, but you do have some results. And, moms and mothers will very likely be just as interested in making money from whatever this offer is, a product review. Okay. And it's a single opt-in, pays 225. It's got about a 50-cent EPC, which means it's very likely to get you, 80-cent plus on search traffic. So that is a way to boost your offer. Can't find anything on Max Bounty. I've said this a million times. Don't be married to Max Bounty. You can always go out to OfferVault. You can always go out to Act Plus. You can start searching some stuff here. Okay. We can go to categories, BizOp. We've got the word survey. Again, I was looking at Martin's stuff here. We'll get to him in a second. And you start searching what else is on here. Okay. See what else is on here. The pipeline method with Clicks Ad Network, which again, what a stupid name, can't even pronounce it. You can click on that and you can see like, shoot, this might be a good offer here. All right, give different offers a test, number 1. So fix your landing page actually is number 1, move the image below the fold. And number 2 would be to keep testing different offers. All right, so those would be the 2 first things that I'd want to talk about before we even cover the traffic. Now, traffic wise, okay, you have an 18% conversion rate, which is not horrible to get started. You only have 29 conversions, so I would run this a little bit longer. The second you get to 50 conversions, which, spoiler alert, Martin, we're going to talk about this on yours, switch from enhanced CPC to target CPA. When you're getting like a 20% conversion rate on enhanced CPC, I can promise you, you're going to get like 30 to 35% the second you switch to target CPA. As I've mentioned before, you cannot switch to target CPA until you get 50 conversions a week. So, you have to be able to have that kind of budget as well. Sorry, I just have a thing here. That's fine. I don't need to answer that right now. Yeah, so it's $30 a day. If your cost per action is $3, just going to show you how to lower that. You should be getting 10 actions a day, which means you should be getting, 70 conversions a week. So you should already be on a good enough budget, and you should switch to target CPA very, very, very quickly. Okay, the second that you cross 50 conversions in there, I would switch. Okay, so that's number one. That's going to lower your costs dramatically. You might immediately go from $3 CPA to $1.50 just by doing that one trick. Now, when I go into devices, on this account, okay, computers and smartphones, actually smartphones aren't doing very well. And I'm going to show you why right now, because, and it's actually, let me pull it up on my phone, guys, so I can show you what it looks like. Sorry, Pilapa. See, the domain doesn't matter, by the way, but I can't. Pilapalahub.com/work from home 3. And this is going to be important. I know there were some mobile issues in the beginning, but we did fix them, and it's fixed even further now. But it's, I don't know how else to say it, but the onus still goes on you guys to look on your phone on how things work, right? So when I look at the page, this is what it looks like to me. And it's maybe hard to see, but you can see the image kind of overwrites the subheadline, and then the form isn't horrible. And then you scroll down, and it's just a bit of a disaster, for lack of a better term. And it's not your fault necessarily, Nikki, but always check the phone. And you can even go to tools and developer tools, and you'll see this is kind of what I'm seeing on my phone, right? It doesn't look that bad on my phone, but it's kind of like that. That's killing your conversions, right? So check that out. So what has been communicated, and I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. Maybe you missed it. It's just, I've mentioned it on webinars, definitely at the live event, and so on. But you got to really check your phone, okay? And you got to go and fix the page up. So fix that up, take some time. That's going to boost your mobile conversion rates up dramatically, okay? So that's number one. So that's number 3. So that should help too. I would sit there and say computers is pretty high. You might want to run it a little bit longer, but it's very likely going to be much higher than your smartphone when you make the necessary changes on your mobile device, okay? And when I go into the ad groups and the keywords now, here's a little filter I like to do, okay? So going into the keywords, she's bidding 75 cents, might be a little bit high. I know that your impression share is only 13%, but still paying that kind of click cost is a little bit higher than I'd like it to be. There is the ideal world of getting to 40%. When you're under 40%, it usually means to Microsoft standards that you can bid higher. But if you're in a niche where there's a lot of competition, if you're at 13% and you're already paying 75 cents a click, well, if you had 50% opt-in rate, the best you're going to get is $1.50 a lead. So that's going to be a bit challenging. So in this scenario, instead of trying to make 10 keywords work at 75 cents a click, why not try to make like 50 to 100 keywords work at like 30 cents a click, okay? You'll get less traffic per keyword, but you'll get the same amount of traffic because you have more keywords, okay? So find more keywords and bid down. But what I did find is I set a filter here where it says, any keyword that got a click, the cost per lead was below $1, and the cost per lead was greater than 0. So it's taken some traffic, and my cost per leads are greater than $1.50. And I found 3 keywords here. It might not be a ton, but there's still 3 winning keywords here where I'm paying less than $1 a lead, okay? So if I can find an offer that pays me 70, 80 cents, I'm getting 98 cents a lead, and my mobile page doesn't look very good and isn't converting well at all, imagine what's going to happen when I fix my mobile page. I'm going to get right close to that break-even point. Imagine what happens when I switch to target CPA and I bid lower. All of a sudden, I'm going to be profitable, okay? And you're getting a 62% opt-in rate on these 3 keywords alone. So this is why it's important to not get discouraged by data where you're losing at the very beginning. We all are going to lose a little bit at the beginning. If you can build a campaign where you spend $100 to make $500 right away, day one, pick up the phone, give me a call. I'm going to hire you as my media buyer. Okay. So when you first start out, the concept is buying data. That's just what happens, right? So you might spend $100 to make 20. Then the next $100 you make 80. Then the next $100 you make 120. And you see what I mean. Over time, you spend $1,000 and you're at 1,000. Then the next 1,000 you make 1,500 and so on. Okay. So you're always testing. You know, you're always throwing darts in a dartboard. Eventually, you're going to have 50, 60 bullseyes, and you're going to just be able to leave this on autopilot. When I find my keywords, I have keywords in one niche that I started running 6 years ago in 2017. They still run today with the exact same ad. That's how powerful search is when you dial it in, okay? The next thing you want to do is go into your search term reports. And I know, Nikki, I might be talking a bit fast. I'll do a recap at the end, and then make sure you watch the replay. Maybe put this on half speed. I get really excited when I'm talking about this stuff, which makes me talk a little faster. So let me calm down, slow down. I put another filter on, same thing. CPA greater than 0, CPA less than $1.50. I'm trying to find the search terms that have a lower cost per lead. And there's a whole bunch of them here, 16. And some of these keywords, some of these search terms I'm saying, are getting like 55 cents, 49 cents, 44 cents, 32-cent leads. So imagine now you're like, all right, well, this one's crushing it. This one's crushing it. I'm going to add these as keywords. Okay. I'm not going to press that button, but then you add them into your ad group at the phrase match level, maybe even test out the exact level and see which one wins, and then monitor the data there. Okay. That's the name of the game. On the flip side, pause your bad keywords, pause your bad search terms. Okay. And follow the schedule I gave you guys on when to do this activity. So as you can see here, there's a lot of good data to be had. The first thing is to move that image below the fold. The second thing is to fix your mobile version. The third thing is you can test the current offers you have with Max Bounty, or what I would recommend is testing other offers. These two offers, I know it's low clicks, but they seem to not be the greatest in the world. Although it could be driven by your keywords that just aren't performing very well. The jury's out on that, but it might be worth a test. So we got moving the image below the fold, mobile fix, offer. All right. Then we also have turning off bad keywords and turning off bad search terms, and then adding in good search terms. Okay. Do those things, monitor it. I would even try bidding down as a seventh thing. I know you're not getting 40% impression share, but it's going to be really hard if you're paying 70 cents a click at 50% conversion rate, you're making $1.40. It's going to be hard to match that, right? So you want to bid down, and then the second you can, switch to target CPA. So I know that's a lot to digest there, but that is exactly what I would do, and that's the name of the game. And if you follow the optimization schedule, it's going to become second nature. Really, you have a few different levers, right? Your one lever is going to be your page itself, right? Which is like, okay, let's move that image below the fold, and let's fix the mobile issues. The other lies in your ad optimizations. Is it the device? Is it the network? I didn't even look at the network. I'll look at that in a second. Is it the location? Okay, am I bidding too much? All right. And then finally, the third thing lies in your search query and your search terms. Those are sort of the three boxes that you go into. So you're always wanting to check those to make sure they're all optimized. We have found landing page optimizations. We found some bidding things we can do, and obviously device will get better as we fix the mobile. And we talked about search terms and search keywords, that you can do to improve. One last thing I want to check here. If I go back into the work from home funnel, and let's go to campaigns, and let's segment by network. And let's just see if there is anything else to be gained from this. Yeah, your cost per conversion, you can see here, is doing way better on the syndicated search partners. I would go in and shut off audience ads. You have audience ads on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is at the ad group level. Click on the ad group settings, because you're doing like $5.62 or something. So make sure that is always off. Multimedia ads, audience ads, where the hell are those things? Sorry, guys. So yeah, if you wanted to shut off your ad distribution, if you notice that syndicated is doing like 225, and I saw a search only was like 270. So, let that run a little longer. But if it turns out that syndicated is better, you would just want to select this option here as syndicated search partners only. And sorry, audience ads, I do a lot more on Google these days, and audience ads just doesn't exist on Google. It's not a thing. And so maybe it is at the campaign level. So let's go to campaign, work from home funnel, settings, and audience. I'm about to go to Google here, guys, and type in how to shut off audience ads on turn off audience ads Microsoft. Let's see what pops up here. Disable at the campaign level. Go to campaigns, settings, advanced campaign settings, other settings. All right. They really don't want you to find that. Okay, let's do that then. So let's go to campaign. And we'll go click on the campaign and we'll go to settings. Advanced campaign settings, and it said something about other. I don't even see an other. Oh, other setting, multimedia ads. Oh, there you go. You have multimedia ads are increased by 40% for some reason. I guess I didn't know. That's why I missed it. They've changed the name audience ads to multimedia ads, and I just found that out live. All right. So go ahead and change that to 0 right now. In fact, I am going to just go ahead and save that for you. Oh, sorry, actually, my bad. You want to decrease it by 100%. That's what you want to do. Maximum increase. Choose the options that are available. Anyways, somewhere in here, for the lack of time, because I don't want to sit here just fiddling around, but shut this off. Okay. You don't want audience ads running at all. Okay, make sure those are turned off. Again, if we go back into the campaign level. Now look, I'm not perfect. I don't know how the hell they changed the name on me and it's on for some reason. Just turn off your audience ads. They should not be running. You can see right here, it's running. It's got 38 of your clicks, a ton of your impressions, and you are paying almost $6 a lead on it. Okay, so get that off immediately. It's killing you. All right. So that is that. All right. So let's go over to Martin over here. Martin's got a survey funnel where he has earned about 30 bucks almost on, what do we have here? Ad spend wise, $180. Just look at that now for fun. See if Martin's got audience ads on. He's got, they're still running over here too. So we probably want to turn those off on your account as well, Martin. You only spent $5, so whatever, but let's get those off. Let's see if I can find it on Martin's account here. Settings. It's going to bug me that I can't turn it off. So let's see if what's Martin's doing over here. Multimedia ad bids, multimedia ads. You can adjust your bids for multimedia ads by specifying what you need to know. Multimedia ad adjustments can be +20 to +900%. Other settings. Turn off. Maybe you can't even turn them off. And nowadays, maybe they just run it by default. I have no idea. From the collapsible menu on the left, all campaign account level options under enable multimedia ads and dynamic ad groups. We're gonna do this together, guys. I think it'll add value for all of you if you shut this darn thing off. Multimedia ads. Pause or delete your multimedia ads. All campaigns, ads, and extensions ads. Okay, interesting. Gonna get back to you guys on that. All right, I will get back to you guys on that after this webinar, and I'll even upload a video on there if it makes sense, because it does seem like it might be running on a couple accounts. All right. Anyways, back to Martin stuff. So audience ads aside, assuming we can turn that off somewhere, I'll figure that one out. And maybe when I'm done this, somebody in the chat already knows how to do that, and I'll do it live. So if you know the answer, kudos to you. But anyways, Martin's got where we go here. Martin's got $180 in spend for 30 bucks. So slightly, about a better loss than Nikki there from a percentage perspective. And when I look at Martin's page, great. It's got a headline. It's got a subheadline, select your gender, female, this and that, the other thing. I was having a problem. I don't know. I asked my friend of mine too. So I was trying to submit the form. I press enter. Oh, there we go. The processing does work. It wasn't working for me before. I don't know if it was a bug on my page. It seems to be on a long delay though, compared to Nikki's. So you might just want to take a quick look at that, Martin, but seems to be working. So that's one thing that's fine. I have no other complaints. I would check your mobile as well, because when I check this on developer tools, you can see it's actually looks great. So no issues on Martin's mobile page. Okay, so that's good. When I look at the segment by device type, we can see the cost per action for computers and smartphones and tablets. It's all around the same. So I would let it run a little longer. You can see the impression share is about 60. Sorry, that's the top impression share. Let me add the actual one. Competitive voice, impression share. Okay, you're around 35%. So you're probably bidding in and around. You're at 51 cent CPC. So you could stand to maybe go a little bit lower. We'll see. Your conversion rate's almost at 20%. Again, you have had 66 conversions. You need to switch to target CPA now. All right. And I would bid almost like $1.20 to $1.50, maybe like 40%, 50% lower than your CPA here. Give it a try, see how much traffic you get, and immediately your conversion rate is going to go up. Okay. So that's tip number one right there. I don't think there's a ton I would touch on my landing page right now. I would really just change the target CPA. I would look at the network here. Again, audience ads, I'm getting a little flustered, bothering me that I couldn't figure that one out, but I'll take a look at it. Looking at your search and syndicated, it's pretty close. I would leave them both running together. Your search gets better conversion rate, but your syndicated is getting a better CPA. So it's kind of a wash. All that matters really at the end of the day is how much money you're making. They're both doing okay. Again, survey wise, your EPC here is around 36 cents, not the worst in the world. Also, it's on an offer that has like an 18-cent EPC and Max Bounty. So it goes to show that you will get around twice the amount that you see in Max Bounty's network EPC. I would go try a different survey offer, try to apply to different networks, try to get a survey offer out there that works better. I know there are survey offers out there that pay 80 cents to $1 EPC. So it seems like this one isn't the best. Martin is running in the UK, so there may not be as many options out in the UK, but definitely test out different offers. Okay. As we go into the keywords, 33 cents enhanced CPC. All right, not really much more lower that you can bid than that. But I'm telling you, when you switch to target CPA at like $1.25 to $1.50, your conversion cost is going to go way down. Your cost per conversion is going to go way down. So again, you can add a filter where the conversions, the CPA is greater than 0, meaning that we have keywords that are taking traffic, and the CPA is, let's say, less than $1.50. In that scenario, we have 11 keywords now where our cost per conversion was 94 cents. So imagine you had an offer that was giving you $1 EPC, you'd be profitable already just by running these keywords, right? Some of them are doing really well. This one's 50 cents. Look at your conversion rate on these keywords, 53%. Okay. So again, the treasure is in the data, right? Yes, overall, your conversion rate's like 18%, but in the winners, you're 53. That shows you your landing page is doing great on these keywords, right? Maybe pause the other ones and just run traffic to these. Imagine when you switch to target CPA, your conversion rate's probably going to go even higher, which is going to drop your CPA even lower. You're going to be getting leads for probably like 80 cents. And if you match it with the right survey offer, you have a winner, my friend. Now we go and do the same thing in the search terms. Okay, let's see what kind of search terms we have here. Again, I'm going to add a filter, conversions, CPA greater than 0. And guys, this is why I try to convey this in the training videos, right? And it's just like step by step, do this, do that, do this, do that. But I think these hot seats are really valuable because you can kind of like see where my brain goes on how I would look at things. I often know, we're down 80% in both these campaigns, but I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, let's fix the mobile. Let's turn off audience ads. Let's do this, let's do that. And let's shut off bad keywords. Let's add better search terms. Let's shut off bad search terms. You do that and you optimize over a couple of weeks, all of a sudden you're profitable. Okay. You can go from $3 leads to 80-cent leads like that, okay, with the right optimizations. That's really what it's all about on every ad platform you ever run on the planet, even in e-commerce, whatever you're doing, it's all about optimization and tweaks, right? That's just how it goes, okay? So with CPA greater than 0, conversion, CPA less than $1.50. Let's see what Martin's got cooking over here. We have, oh my God, there's a lot, 54 search terms, $41 in spend with a CPA of 69 cents, 70 cents, okay? The offer needs to be better. That's 36 is just not good enough, but we can find better offers. We can test that out, but 70-cent leads here, okay? Look at that. Now, if we just want to say, okay, instead of $1.50, why don't we just say, how many leads do I have that are less than 70 cents? Okay, just for fun. Not leads, how many search terms? Well, I have 29 search terms here that are getting me 51 cent, 50-cent leads on these search terms. You can go in and add these at the phrase match level, maybe test at the exact match level, like literally the same keyword twice, and see how that works. Sometimes exact match actually does do really well. So when you're adding them in, you can test both of them. I wouldn't test the broad, you're just gonna get too much junk, but all of these are winners, okay? They're all winners here, all right? And I would just add them right into your ad group and see what happens, okay? Shut off the bad search terms now, the same thing. Maybe you wanna go, okay, well, CPA greater than $1.50. All right, and we have a whole bunch of traffic just getting eaten up here, right? We have 54 search terms that I'm paying greater than $1.50 for, and my average CPA on these ones, I don't know why it said less than, hold on, greater than is what I want to say. Actually, we only have 4, but my average CPA on these ones is $2. Maybe I shut off the ones greater than $1. I want to be like super tight. My average CPA is $1.47, right? And it took, where we got here, cost, where's the overall spend? So $17 only, but still, shut that crap off, get it on, get it gone, bye-bye. It's killing you, okay? Same thing in the keywords, all right? So these are the types of optimizations you can make. Now, I don't think, Martin, you really need to touch your page. I think it's fine. Maybe check mobile, make sure it's looking good. It seemed to look good to me, but just double check it, okay? Always double check your phone too. Don't just look at the tools, developer tools. It might look fine here, and on your phone, it looks different. So always check both, okay? So that's number 1. I think you're fine there. Number 2, if we look at the other levers, I would switch your bidding strategy immediately. I think if we can figure out a way, maybe it's in the chat by now. If not, I'll look into it, to shut off those audience ads for everybody. I don't think they're going to do any good. And then I used to be at the ad group level. I'll double check that in a second. And number 3, I don't think we need really locations. You go in like quarterly when you have tons of data, so you don't need to go to that level. Networks seem to be fine. So those types of adjustments, not really much going on there other than switching to target CPA. And then the other adjustments, again, your search term and your keyword reports are going to be super duper valuable. Okay, the data is in here that shows you can get leads for as low as like 50 to 60 cents. And as long as you have an offer paying, 70, 80 cents or higher, I mean, dude, this is a profitable business right here, okay? So I would be very encouraged with these types of results. I know that, you might be saying, well, you just lost like 80%. Why are you encouraged? Well, because you're in the beginning stages. This is what happens, we can't look at it as like we lost $100. What we should look at is we bought a whole bunch of data here, and now we can look through this data and we have some winning search terms and keywords, shut off all the bad stuff, add in some of the good search terms, make a couple tweaks to your bidding strategy, maybe just double check your mobile. All of a sudden, you have a winning campaign, okay? So let me just double check one thing, is it's still driving me nuts that I couldn't figure out how to shut off the audience ads. It used to be, first of all, called audience ads. You can even see in Microsoft, they call it audience ads. That's why I was thrown off by multimedia. And number 2, it used to be at the ad group settings level. So I click into that, and I click on the ad group, and I go to the settings. Maybe it's on the left side, there's something called audiences there, but that's different. It's not audience ads. With multimedia here. No. Let's see in the Q&A if somebody has my answer here. Somebody said supplement was spelt wrong on one of the pages. Nikki, so check supplement there. I don't think spelling mistake really matters, but you know, just give it a check. Thank you very much. Okay, good call. I didn't really look for spelling errors, but I'll double check your stuff for spelling, guys. And if your English isn't your first language or whatever, you can use like a free online spell check tool, free online grammar tool. I'm not saying Nikki it's not. I'm just saying that we have lots of students like that. So just check that out. Mark says for next time, how about putting that yellow highlighter on? It's really difficult to follow without it. I know. I don't think that exists on. Maybe it doesn't exist on Zoom. Let's try that out. I have an annotate button. I don't know if that does anything. Select, draw. Does let me draw? Oh, it does let me draw. Can you guys see me drawing? I guess you can. That's interesting. Yeah, you could see me draw. Okay, cool. Really cool. I don't see an option here for a yellow highlighter, but I will take that away. I will take that away. Audience was listed in fine print under your very first search. Well, let's see here. It's driving me nuts. I can't figure that out. I never had that happen on a webinar, by the way. It's a super rare situation where I'm stumped by something in my years of experience doing this, but I know it has audiences there. That's different. That's not the same thing. In settings, that's it. I don't know. We'll figure it out for another day. All right. If you click add distribution, oh, did they move it to the add distribution? Those people, insert bad word there. Add distribution was at the ad group level. Okay, so let's try that. That's why I love having these calls. Sometimes you guys know better than I. Okay, so in the ad group, in the settings, you will see something called ad distribution, which is silly. That's Microsoft should be sued for that. They're just like hiding this stuff. Oh, this includes Microsoft Audience Ads. They just put it in there. And it includes it here. I was like, can you not shut it off anymore? Those jerks. Both search ads and Microsoft Audience Ads. Audience Ads are currently available to only a limited number of customers. If audience ads are available for campaign, you manage use of these ads with bids using the audience ads bid adjustment on both campaign and ad group settings. I know that, but it doesn't seem like you can turn it off anymore. Well, that's annoying. Let me get back to you guys on that. I'm talking to my Bing rep about that. You used to be able to turn those off. It had a whole section here called audience ads, not multimedia ads. I guess maybe multimedia ads are different than audience ads, but you used to be able to just turn it off entirely. Yeah, so I guess that's the thing. We might be stuck with audience ads, my friends. Yeah, I know somebody's saying select increase or decrease, but there's only an increase option. There's no decrease option. And then I think multimedia ads are different. Eric sent me, oh, it's at the account level. Okay. You guys want to watch a YouTube video with me? Account level options. All right, let's try that one out. Sorry, this Zoom call is getting a little dry, but I think this would be very helpful for all of us. Okay. So account overview there. Let me see that screen. The overview. See, his screen looks different than my screen. See what I mean? Even his screen looks different than mine. Let's go campaigns. I don't even see an account settings level on mine. And that could be because I'm in Martin's account here. Let's try with Nikki's account. Her account looks similar to mine. Maybe later. Anyways, guys, I was determined to do it, but I'll figure it out. I'll let you know on the office hours Monday, and I'll figure it out. I'll even toss a video in the module this week. If you don't see a video, that means it's not possible, and I'll just remind you that on Monday. If you do see a video, that's it. Yeah, the drawing is still on my screen. I'm sorry. I get that thing out here. Clear? They're all drawings. There we go. And I'll figure out if there's a way to do Zoom highlights as soon as this call's over. Click the MS logo to get to account level. Okay, there we go. Account level options. Anyways, I will figure it out. All right, I can't spend any more time on that. It's driving me nuts. When checking to see if the processing page on mobile is going to the offer in the other country, I turn on VPN for the office country. I get a page of code. You know, maybe what I would do instead of that, you could do is just change your redirect URL for a minute to like Google. And if it redirects to Google, it's going to redirect to the offer, and then don't worry about it. Okay. How do you determine what your target CPA should be? There is a whole video on that. I would take 30 to 50% of my cost per action. So if my cost per action is $1, I would set my target CPA at like 50 to 70 cents. All right. Yeah, Gregory says, ask Google. That's exactly what I'll be doing following this webinar. They moved it and this is like brand new, hot off the press. Wendy, something about, I messed up. I set the 2FA with Max Bounty. It wasn't working, so I uninstalled exactly what they told us not to do. I just fell in the autopilot troubleshooting. I've emailed my account manager several times and there's been 5 days of no response. How should I proceed? I'm not really sure on that one. Did you try like a forgot password? Does Max Bounty have like a general support you can hit up? Pick up the phone. In the original email, you probably have somebody's phone number. I would definitely call them in that situation. I'm going to go with Brad here has one more suggestion for me. I know you guys are like, no, don't try and look at this any further. Okay, campaign settings. So campaign. Let's see, Brad for the win, maybe settings. Other settings. Other settings. Just before, yeah, these are just multimedia ads, but again, you can't decrease. I think these are different from audience ads. So that's that. There's a slider you can turn off at the ad level. That's what Mario suggests. That is like, now they're just getting wild on us here. Okay, so let's go into the ad group here. And let's go to the ads. And is there settings here for the ads? No, these are just ad group settings. Edit. There's a slider here. Well, that is that. I'm gonna play around with it. All right. And Mario says he has it in his account, but my account screen looks different, which is also very typical of Microsoft. Okay. All right. I ain't looking at any more audience ad settings on this call. I will look immediately that once we're done here. And if I find a way to shut it off, you will see it in this week's module. I'll remind you guys a million times on office hours next week. Other than that, I will return, I believe Monday at 11 a.m. Just let me check that quickly. And hopefully you guys got some value out of, type some one in the chat if you guys got some value out of this office hours and the hot seat, I should say specifically. Yeah, I figured you guys would like it. And thank you to Nicole, or Nikki, I should say, and Martin for your help and make some of the changes I said. And I'd be interested to see where you guys are at in a couple of weeks. And you guys have a good rest of the week. Take care.